You're probably watching me finishing up my teenage and young adult driving presentation right now, and we're nearing its end. What I'm going to show you today on this video is the checklist that I handed out at the beginning of the class. I'm going to break it down for you and explain it to you so you can use it for yourself on a daily basis. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to go over today from the checklist is the tire pressure. Now, whether or not you may believe it, air will always go from high to low pressure. There's lots of high pressure in here. It wants to go outside. So your car will always be losing pressure whether or not you're realizing it. So it's very important that you want to keep a constant pressure in all your tires at all times. Now, there are two simple ways of doing it, of checking your tires to see if they need air. The first way, if you don't have a tool, is simple. You just take your hands and push your thumb against the side of the wall of the tire. And depending on how far your finger goes in, you can tell whether or not the car needs air. The tire should always be tight, but not too tight. And if you have a tool like this, then it's very simple. You just stick it in, you measure what the PSI is, and then you go and check on the other three tires to make sure that they're all the same. Now, if you're not sure what your factory specifications are for tire pressure, you can always look it up in your car manual book, or you can use a reference like Google and look it up. Alright, so come over here. The next thing we're going to go over on the checklist is the windshield wipers. Windshield wipers, they come up very easily like this. Now what you want to do is, you want to go across the blades and inspect them. You want to make sure there's no cracks, no holes anywhere. Make sure that there's nothing on the windshield wipers. So I have some stuff like this. Stuff like this, if you leave it on, can ruin the windshield wipers. And that's a very important thing just to keep in. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to go over is the visual lights. We're going to get a lights check. First, we're going to do the headlights. Chris, can you please turn on the headlights for me? You see both of my lights are on? That's good, that's good. Next, the high beams. High beams. See, high beams are both working properly as well. This is good. Okay, so let's come to the back of the car. The next thing we're going to do is the brake lights. Chris, let me get a brake light check. As you can see, both my lights are on. Put on the lights for the tail lights, and both my tail lights are on. Excellent. Now, the thing that you really want to keep in mind here with the brake lights and the tail lights is that these are the bulbs that will pop out the most. You never know when you could be driving without a brake light. It's always very good to keep on top of it and make sure that they're always working properly. Okay. Let me see. The next thing we want to do with the car is the blinkers. Chris, can I get the check for the blinkers in the front? Left blinker, right blinker. And now for the back. Left blinker check, right blinker check. Excellent. Okay. So now that we've gotten these things, the next, stop it.